Hello, my friends. Doug here from Albuquerque in New Mexico with another knitting podcast. I wanted to show you the progress on what I was working on last time and show you my knitting journal as well as the start of something unexpected. Yes. And today's a day where I feel like I gotta stick to the plan, even though the hair is not cooperating. Do you have those days? You probably do. We all do, right? So let's get to it. I'm very distracted by two things. For one, there is a thunderstorm coming up. I think it's getting darker and darker. And the other thing is I have lined up all the minis that I have wound. Not all of them will be suitable for the Advent, but most of them. And looking at them is, I know it's mean because you can't see them, and I'm not going to show you either because Advents are surprises. But I did want to tell you that I have made a decision on how to package, but there will be a few options that I still need to finalize, but also I need to dye up a few more colors because I'm not too happy about I'm very happy about what I have right now. So I have, everything is speckled. Nothing is just one solid color, and I just need a few more. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna say anymore because it's kind of mean, right? To tease you. But I did wanna ask you a question. If you feel ever inclined to tell me, what would you think of making from an Advent calendar with 10-gram minis? Would you like to have a gradient for like a shawl, for example? Or do you say, oh, hey, just give them to me whichever way, kind of like randomly, like a yellow after a blue and then a purple and blah, blah. And then I will figure out what to do with that. That's what I did when I had an Advent calendar from my friend Sabrina, which I still remember so vividly because it was so much fun. And I gathered all the minis. I did not knit them up immediately, but I'm just not sure how to arrange the sequence of colors. Yeah, if you have any thoughts of that, tell me. Even though it's usually when I ask you questions like that, it's like 50-50 roughly. So, but still, if you wouldn't mind, let me know what you think. And now let's get going. I want to start off with the shawl that's called the name that I cannot remember ever, which is kind of weird. The sun, now I can remember. I just gotta think, finally. The sun also sets shawl, yes. And that's the picture on the pattern and also on the pattern page. I said last time that there's not a lot of pictures, but there may be 2 more or so. I don't know. She suggests kind of like a fade into the different colors that she uses, but I decided I wanted to just make my own use of leftover hand-dyed yarns. And I've been having so much fun with this. And just so you know, this is a designer that does not have, there were no projects on the pattern so far. So hopefully we can change this a little bit and get her some more knitters who support her. I have to tell you, this is where I am right now, and she says use 4.5 millimeter needles. I did not want that. I wanted 4 millimeter needles. I usually use for fingering yarn 3.5 millimeters, but I thought, well, this is garter, and so I thought I'm gonna get a little bit looser gauge is gonna be fine. And yeah, she has an interesting technique for the middle here, for the spine, which I love. And like I said, with her, she has a fading technique to blend one colorway into the next. But what I'm doing is I literally just finish one color and then I start with the next one. And I showed you this last time. Let me pull them out. This is where my yarns are in a bag that I made. And I don't know what fell out of this. Oh, 8 grams Dreamcatcher. Probably one of the ones that are in this necklace of yarns. And I talked about this a little bit last time. I kind of go from light to very dark. I don't even know if I will get to this dark color, but in between I have something for fun and for visual interest, like the yellow, like the mint green, and also if I get to that point of the brighter pink here. We shall see. I'm really enjoying this so much, and it's quite mindless in between, even though right now I am counting ridges until I'm getting to the next eyelet section. And I did want to tell you that oh yes, so here's what I'm changing. She asks to do a I think there's a drop stitch section. I don't know if it's just one row or if it's a section, but I don't like very loose rows like that with dropped stitches, so I'm not going to do that. As well as right now where I am, she has you do double yarn overs. I mean, everybody can see the holes are created by yarn overs, but she has you do doubles and just to knit only one of those yarn overs, which I also didn't do because I'm a rebel, as we know. And I think soon enough the decreases are gonna start. I'll see. I hope if I feel like it's not gonna be big enough, then I'm just gonna keep going. And then I wanted to show you my beautiful knitting book. I did not bring that last time. And I call it Sunset. So that's my name for the shawl on my page on Ravelry, where I'm paper dag. And what I'm doing is I am writing just, not unless I feel like it's necessary. I don't write a whole lot, but like needle size and when I started it and the original name of the pattern, the designer, and then I add photos. When there are more pictures, I plan to make a little, like a flip open thing, which you will see in a moment with the other shawl. Yeah, excited about this one. And then I finally started my Teroldego, which had even hopped out of my queue at some point, even though I wanted to make it for a very long time. But now it went back into the queue and I finally started. And the yarns I'm using are Stitch Together Studio and Chesia. I'll tell you in a second. And this is Zia wools that I dyed to match or to go with it as that color pop for the lace. And this is where I am right now. I do use 3.5 millimeter needles because this is also what Caitlin Hunter suggests, tells you to do, and this works very well for this stockinette fabric. I said that last time already. I wish she would have given a little bit of instructions for how to carry the yarn on the side, because it's a 4-2 row repeat, but I survive without that. So this is the first lace section. It's pretty. Yeah. And yeah. Oops, sorry, I hope that was not too loud. And this is the page. So I usually put the labels there. I add the yarn. Oh, that's still missing. I gotta add that. I don't know why that's still missing, but I'll add that. And Chesium, or whatever, Chesium yarn, which I got as a vacation souvenir yarn in Virginia last year. And here are the beginning photos. And here already you can see, of course, I have no more room for photos, but I'm sure I will take progress pictures in between. And then I could put a picture here, because what I do, if you wonder, I'm borrowing my daughter's Canon Ivy printer, but what I usually have done with most of these photos is I have an iMac, so it's Pages. It's not Word, but that would work too if you're a PC person. So I draw the photos onto the page, onto one letter size sheet, and then I position them the way I want, and I can make them bigger, smaller, the way I want. And I fill the page, and then I print it on sticker paper. It's not the world's best quality, but it's good enough for me, because in the end, I'm going to have the shawl. But it's just going to be fun to have a few progress photos in between. Yeah. Of course, if you want to look it up on Ravelry, that's where you find everything on my page where I'm paper tag. Yes, and oh yes, I did want to mention this. I think here I messed up and I got lazy. And so I just got going, and then I ran out of space, almost. But I use watercolors, and at times I feel like a kid that's messing up, and I'm like, no. because I can't always stay in the line, in the black outline. So, and I'm using watercolors, and I'm using fountain pens for my writing, and I tested this paper before if it works for fountain pens, because I knew I was going to use them. And if you are new, you may not know this. The book was my choice. And I sent it off to Red Barn Collections. They used to be in Salt Lake City, but now they are in, oh gosh, I think it's Vermont now. But she has a website, and yeah, you can contact her through the website, and she can turn any one of your books into a journal or a knitting journal. Yeah, which of course, duh, why would you do anything else with this? I have to say, I personally, I'm not too much a spiral bound journaling person. But for this, it's so wonderful, because then the book can actually grow and it won't matter because you have the space. So my three shawls. Third one is the Bruma shawl by the Moody Knitter. I have to say that I don't think these colors do the beautiful pattern justice. I hope that my version is going to be awesome, because it definitely is at this stage. I enjoy this pattern so much. It's my yarn that I love. It's the way the pattern is written is just chef's kiss. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Not to kind of give myself the praise, but really here all goes to the designer, because how do you even come up with something like that? Hello. The yarn that I'm using, and let me show you the other two balls of yarn. So this is the first one. This is the next one. I think I'm there. I think I can start using the second color. And this is going to be the third color. So this is Wollmeise, Rohrspatz und Wollmeise, German company, hand dyeing company. And they have this weird label where thankfully somebody enlightened me that this has cashmere in it. So it's lovely. I think they all do, actually. This one also. This is a 100, the Wollmeise is a 150 gram skein, and this one is also a 150 gram skein. And I can show you now the tags. This is Wonderland Yarns, the one I'm knitting with right now. And this is the Rohrspatz und Wollmeise mystery tag. And here we have Soft Sock by Northern Bee Studio that I got in Alaska. And this is what I was talking about. So of course my page is full. You can see I have the tags, I have the photo, but now how do I put in my progress? And I made this little insert. So I have space for 1, 2, 3, even 4 more photos if I feel the need to add that many more. It's fun. And again, I used watercolors up here for the name of the pattern. In this case, I kept the pattern name for my project also, because I couldn't think of anything else, to be honest. Yep, that's that. And in case you wonder what else have you been doing, I've really enjoyed playing with the watercolors. So I'm going to show you this now. These are my blankets. And my shawl that you've seen many times. And here I put this funny photo in from I scanned a postcard and I printed it out. Oh, this is the only project that doesn't have a photo yet because I haven't taken one. This is the Magnolia page. And the Moab shawl with my sweet Ike, which reminds me, the Moab shawl is right now in Santa Fe at the new yarn store, Acer, which has fused with Santa Fe Fiber Studio. Very, very, very cool. I'm looking forward to going there. So she is carrying Zia Wools, my yarns, and she has taken this yarn as a shop sample. I'm gonna keep this one a secret because I'm gonna show you in a moment. And this one is one page for the socks, where I'm just gonna put pictures of the socks when they're done. Because it usually takes me a year to finish socks. Yes, that it does. This sweater will be coming back. And in case you wonder, I started with the project at the beginning of the year. And whatever is still active, was active at the time, or I think it was the very first project was the hat that I finished on January 1st. And yeah, I did all those hats back then. Mitts. However, the Dukes for the High Desert Studio Tour, they're gonna go in the back here. The way I've always done that. It's the socks for myself and for my goddaughter, and here's the top with the crochet flowers. Oh, wait a second. See, here I also needed a flippity thing for that other photo. And then if I have the space, I put in some knitting themed stickers. This was fun. This is a very popular one of my projects, and also I put all these on Instagram and people loved the design of this page, maybe because I painted it, I don't know. Painted the sweater. Here's a hat. And here was, oh yes, this was also a yarn from Northern Bee Studio. 2 yarns, both of them. Yep. And that was my pride and joy that I finally finished January 1st. Yeah, so now you have seen the book, all caps. And I can show you what else I've been working on. You know, for a while, I need to tell you, I stalled a little bit because I felt like, okay, I did start at January 1st and I really wanted to I wanted to have that as a start, and I wanted to catch up with everything that I had in the works at the time. And so it felt a little bit overwhelming back then, but I didn't pressure myself. I just, sometimes when I had some time, when I had an hour or two, I just sat down at the kitchen table and I had a little box ready with all of my tools, like that waterproof archival pen for the black outline of the names. I had a little ruler, a pencil, an eraser, and of course my watercolors. What else? Well, my fountain pens, I have them there anyways. So yeah. And finally, it felt really good once I got caught up. And now. Do you remember? Yeah, at some point I had yet another shawl in the works, and it was a DK weight shawl, and I was very excited about a few things. So I was excited about the yarn. You know me, I can get very excited about my projects. So that was yarn that a friend of mine had gifted me, and it was 3 skeins. So I knew this is going to be great for a shawl. But then I thought, maybe I find some more Ziawul's yarns and I can use it also. And I found this. This is a DK also. Actually, the shawl, the yarn that my friend gifted me was a worsted weight, and this is also a leftover yarn from another. Well, actually, I have almost a full ball of yarn, and now I can show you the picture in the book and tell you the details about the yarns that my friend gifted me, which are a natural white, a light blue, and this gorgeous yellow. And some of you have splendid memory. I did combine it with an accent stripe between the colors, with this hot pink, also Ziawul's. I believe that this is Ziawul's. I named it Yucca, but it never made it as a staple into my yarns. So this was just a little bit, and this could have been, I wonder if that was worth it, but it definitely was also alpaca and silk in it. Not very important, because you can then use anything that you want. So what I did is I had worked on the shawl, and you're gonna laugh with me, I'm sure of it, because I did something that I do not do often. I wove in all my ends, because I thought that's going to drive me crazy with the color changes if all the ends are hanging off, with the pink on top of all the other colors. And of course, then I ripped it out and decided to turn the shawl into a sweater. Yes, I thought maybe a cardigan, maybe a sweater. I wasn't sure, and I'm going to show you how the shawl looked like. But here, my friends, is the beginning of the sweater. And what's super cool is that I have actually already done the math on how I need to but I was not quite decided on how far I will use the blue, because of course I will be able to get a wider stripe because there's less stitches here. But then I thought it's not necessary to make all the stripes the same width. I can do whatever I want because there will not be any knitting police coming. Yes. So let me show you what I have decided on in terms of the order of the colors. And right now in the book, the name is Lisa. And I may have named it Lisa Sweater on Ravelry. And I decided I want to start with the blue. I think that would look good on me. And then the next is going to be the white. And like I said, I'm going to do it the same way I did it on the shawl. I'm going to have that pink accent in between. So blue, white, yellow, and blue, white, yellow. And then, no, wait a second. Blue, oh no, sorry. Blue, white, green, and then yellow. And then if I need more yarn, I'm gonna have the gray on the very bottom. But when I told you I had figured it all out, it only referred to the stitch count. So everything else I will decide when I'm going, like the width of the stripes and stuff like that. And this is the yarn. It's Yarn Citizen Harmony worsted in the colorways Daffodil for the yellow, Mist for the light blue, and Natural for the, you guessed it, for the natural. My yarn used to be called Mesa, and it was 45 baby alpaca, 45 merino, and 10% silk. So it's similarly, gosh, that's a tough word, soft as this. And the Harmony worsted has 100 grams with 211 yards, and my Mesa has 100 grams with 245 grams. I will ignore the difference. That's all I say, because my project, my decisions. We shall see if I will regret this, but I don't think so. Whatever, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be fun. Yes, my friends, and this is all for today. And I will get back to you hopefully soon. And until then, I wish you happy knitting. Bye.